Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is Hunter Mike with my third video on hunting with esophageal cancer and liver cancer now that I have. This video we're shooting in a different place today, and you can see I'm wearing my Green Bay Packer gear, so go Pack. And I wanted to take you back to the start of the surgery and to work you through my recovery and what we did to get there and what we did to get to go elk hunting and to go deer hunting this last year. And currently this year is over. And I just want to let you know I did not shoot any does with my bow on that last night. Nothing showed up. So it was a quiet night and nothing to clean and no big problem. Start again with turkey season coming up soon. And we're going to go varmint hunting this year next week. So I'll shoot another video when I'm varmint hunting. But at this point right now here, I want to show you a little bit of some of the successful hunting things, so you at least know I am a hunter and I do go hunting and I do search to find a decent sized deer every year that I go hunting. One or two if I can find them. So here's a little bit of a picture of some of those that I've taken over the past, and of the elk that I shot last year, and the 9-point bow I shot, or point buck I shot with a bow. And I did do these European mounts myself. Here's a view of them. Hopefully you can see them decently enough. As we go through there's a 9-point I shot with the bow, or with my bow, and some of the other larger ones I shot with a muzzle loader. This first one here, and the bow with the second one, and the rifle with the third one up on top of there, and then a bow. And then my elk I shot this year in Colorado. So I did shoot them. I did go hunting. And you can go hunting too, as long as you put in the work and work out and get yourself to a point where you can do it. And here's the muzzle loader that killed that elk. A couple more little things. I do my own taxidermy, and I've done a lot of different little animals and things that I did over the years. Here's a few of those things. A little 4-point I shot years and years ago. Not quite with that big a bullet, but I shot it nonetheless. A few more that I mounted. I did not shoot those animals, but I mounted them when I was first practicing and trying. So we do have quite a few little hunting adventures I've been on and done, and I'm going to continue to do that as well. And here's a few more pictures of them. This is an 11-pointer I shot years ago with my dad's rifle. When he passed away, he gave me his rifle. There's my mother. And I'm holding the rifle that I shot that deer with. And a little bit of elk camp picture. So I hope those pictures are coming out good. So let me take you back to the operation date, which was on the October the 26th. I had my esophagectomy performed, and at that point I came out of recovery pretty good. I did have a little AFib that was treated and recovered. I was in the hospital for 12 days. So that got me out about the 6th or 8th of November, out of the hospital. I came home here for a week and had to go back to see the surgeon on the Friday before Wisconsin gun hunting opened. And I was heading right to my farm and I was going hunting. And again, there I did go hunting. And just to let you know how I got to get that far, where I felt like I could do it, was I put on 6 miles a day. After 3 days sitting in that bed, I got up and I walked around that hospital, and I walked around that hospital. My brother walking me, my wife walking me, nurses walking me, sisters walking me, walking with my mother when she came up there with her cane and everything. We put on 6 miles a day walking to get myself out of that hospital bed and to get into a shape where I might be able to put my clothes on, which was a lot of work, to go out and go deer hunting. So I did go deer hunting. I did have an opportunity at a big buck. I passed the first one, and I had another one later in the week, and I did take a shot at it, but I just couldn't hold the gun up. Wasn't very steady, and I missed him clean. And he was here this year, and we hunted him hard, but we did not get him again. He was pretty elusive, pretty an old buck, which was nice. There were several of them this year that were there, and we just didn't get the job done. But I hunted him hard this year. I was out a lot. And in order to get there, I had to work out. And after I was allowed to work out, that was in December, I started my workouts where I rode a bike 5 miles a day, and I did crunchies. I did 150 of those a day. I did leg lift exercises, butt lift exercises, push-ups. I jumped rope. I did calf lifts. I did deep knee bends, hundreds and hundreds of these things, and I skipped rope, and I lifted weights, and I walked on treadmills, and I climbed the stairs in the back of my barn. I did this all summer long, taking me through January. I was in pretty good shape going into February, and then February I found out I had liver cancer. Had to go on chemo again, and I started my chemo on March the 20th, 2019, and that ran me all the way up until September, where I was on chemotherapy, getting diagnoses and getting my CT scans, getting MRIs, and we found that the cancer itself had been in remission. But then on September the 3rd, I was told that I had a lung clot, a blood clot in my left lower lung. And I told him, I said, I don't care. I'm going elk hunting. I worked hard to get this far, to get myself where I thought mentally and physically I could actually go up into the Rocky Mountains and hunt elk. And I told him I'm going anyway, so give me whatever it takes. If I die here or I die up there, I don't care. I'm going to be happy if I die hunting, that's for sure. So my brother and I set out on September the 9th with my camper, and we went elk hunting. And just to let you know, I did get that elk, and I told you that in the first video we had. I just showed you a European mount, of which I did myself, by the way. I did that whole European mount on the 9-pointer and on my elk. And I did my brother's 12-pointer that he shot in Minnesota this year. I did that for him, a European mount for him on that. So backing up a little bit here, I just want you to know that it's the security health people that I blamed for a little bit of my delay and possible, I don't like the fact that people can say, hey, you got insurance, I need the x-rays, I need the CT scans, I need the medicine. The doctors prescribe it, you should just get it and approve it. You shouldn't be sitting there waiting a week or 2 weeks to decide whether or not my life is worth saving. And what Security Health does is they give it to their management group, which is the Magellan RNX management group. And they sit there and they decide whether or not you can actually get your medicine or receive the services based on what it maybe costs or whatever their criteria is. It isn't good if you're on the other end of it. And if you don't fight them, which you should do, is fight them and say something. Don't just sit there and take it, because that's what they want you to do. You sit and you fight them and you get it taken care of, because it is your right. Okay, it is your right. Here's one of those papers here just recently. Now, I better not show it to you because it's got my medical information on it, but I've got it in my hand right now. They approved this one, which is good. So that first process started back in July, when we started trying to get the CT scans and the PET scans and the MRIs, and then getting approval for the cancer chemos. It was just a nightmare to start with, but once we got going on it, it was good. Again, the chemo and the radiation didn't work well for me because it was growing, and it was growing very fast. Adenocarcinoma is a fast-growing cancer. That's why if you have any signs or symptoms I told you about before, you have to go after them and get them. You got to get the surgery done. You got to have somebody find out about it. You got to say something about it. Just got to say something so you can get looked at. so you can avoid going through a lot of this crap. Okay, just so you know, you got to work hard too. You got to work out. You got to do whatever you can. You got to get out and walk. You can't sit on your ass. I read too many blogs by people that said their mom and dad just won't do nothing, and